there was a news regarding removing the chapter of evolution from the course of class 10th. It is very cleverly being removed that the students are being deprived of knowing evolution.
And evolution is still continuing and we don't know what we will next evolve into. There is solid supportive evidence as well. We wrote those stories in a very cunning way in the name of God so that our biases become... So the conservatives, they don't really love God. They love those...
Pranam Acharya Ji. Acharya Ji, on one hand, as the question was discussed that this stupidity is flourishing, 3 months back a news came, there was a news regarding NCERT removing the chapter of evolution from the course of class 10th. And the major discussion was regarding that majority of people, a lot of students don't take up the social sciences beyond 10th. So we can see that on one end, this stupidity is flourishing on the name of religion. And on the other hand, the whatever little bit scientific bent of mind could have been provided through formal education is being very, I don't know, it might be my assumption that it is very cleverly being removed, that the students are being deprived of knowing evolution. So heredity is being kept intact and evolution is removed from from class 10th syllabus, citing the reason that it would be too much for a 10th class 10th student to read up evolution and all. So that will also have a consequence on the generation as far as scientific bent of mind is concerned.
I've heard of this, though I don't know the details. I don't know whether the chapter has been totally removed or just shortened.
So evolution is removed, what I have read, and heredity has been kept intact. And also there was some changes in chemistry and history. History changes is subject to...
In general, a lot of societies with conservative bents do not like evolution. You go and look at textbooks in Pakistan, you won't find evolution there as well. So I don't know if there is anything surprising in that. Evolution simply means that man was not made by God. And that is just existentially threatening to the dualists. For them, creationism is everything. Because if man indeed did evolve from that single-celled creature that in turn came from the amino acids, then who needs God? Prakriti is sufficient, right? It's all happening here and Prakriti is sufficient. That's where we are coming from. And evolution is still continuing and we don't know what we will next evolve into gradually. That's the reason a lot of societies don't like their kids reading the theory of evolution. It's more than a theory now. There is so much supportive scientific evidence that it can almost be taken as the fact of evolution, not even a theory. You're digging up remains of all kinds of creatures, animals, birds, human beings, our ancestors. So we know how the whole thing happened. There is solid supportive evidence as well. But we don't want to admit it, and we want to keep telling our kids that it's all coming from there. Why do we want to tell that to our kids? Because in the name of divine stories, we can give protection to our biases. if divinity itself stands threatened, what will happen to our biases? Now, for example, God made man, and God said some animals are inferior to men, or all animals are inferior and some animals are worthy of slaughter. Right? Do you see what kind of stake we have in this kind of divinity? But if evolution comes in, then this will have to be dismissed, and you then won't be able to argue and defend slaughter of animals. Similarly, God made man, and God made some men superior to other men. Now this inequality is coming right from God, and therefore this inequality is to be conserved. But if the divine stories are gone, how will you hold some men inferior to yourself? And if you can't hold them inferior, then your pride you'll have to swallow, and a lot of privileges you'll have to relinquish. Therefore, evolution is very dangerous. It's not that we love God. It's not that those who oppose evolution love God really. No. If God is truth, only a deeply spiritual person can love God. And if God is truth, then God can't be a story. But what we love is stories in the name of God. And who wrote those stories? We did. We wrote those stories in a very cunning way in the name of God, so that our biases become immortal and sacred in the name of God. The problem really not so much is the God belief. The problem is that once that God belief is there, you build 1,000 stories as well. And all those stories are there just so that your current beliefs and biases and prejudices and selfish interests and exploitative tendencies can be immortalized, conserved, sanctified in the name of religion. So the conservatives, they don't really love God. They love those stories. They love those stories. And the theory of evolution threatens those stories in a very big way. And why do they love those stories? Because those stories grant them certain privileges, comforts, even material comforts. So it's not that belief is at stake. Material comfort is everything. Material comfort is what most people are after.